Push Pull Legs online coaching is open. Contact us at info.pushpulllegs.co.uk. 3, 2, 1. Back in the room with Clarky.
Okay, right. So back after the break. So we're going to go a bit more light-hearted now after the break. This is the kind of the mellow bit of the show.
Mellow show.
Yeah. So we're going to again. I mean, because the questions for me they're kind of based a bit more about nutrition, but there's also a little thing in there. A few more personal questions. Nothing too bad though. First question is. If you could only eat one meat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Bacon.
Okay, bacon. That's pretty good. Smoked or unsmoked?
Smoked. Don't eat bacon unsmoked. You're not eating bacon if you're eating it unsmoked. It's unacceptable. If you serve me unsmoked bacon, nah, get out.
Any type of bacon, streaky, back bacon, or any bacon?
Any bacon is fine. The thing is, it's multi-purpose. You can have bacon for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and as a snack. Whereas steak for breakfast gets a bit old after a few days. Chicken for breakfast, nah.
No, that's not cool.
Bacon.
Have you had candied bacon?
No.
Candied bacon. Oh, great. Get some Demira sugar, put it under the grill, smack that on. Watch the Super Bowl. Oh, it's phenomenal. Yeah.
See, this is where I would, if I was a strongman, every morning for breakfast would be smoked streaky bacon, maple syrup, and pancakes every morning, without fail.
That's my Sunday morning breakfast right there.
I think you're underestimating that John's a facility owner, a owner of 3 different businesses, and has he got time to make pancakes?
I'd get someone to make delivered, don't you worry. Okay, next question is, you like coffee, don't you? I'm sure I've seen you like coffee. What is your favourite type of coffee? So you can have filter, espresso, flat whites, all that sort of stuff. You can only drink one for the rest of your life.
I've only been learning more about coffee over the last few weeks, to be honest, but I do like coffee. It's got me through the first 2 years of my daughter being on the planet. If I'm going to a coffee shop, I'd order a flat white. But if I'm making,
you got a beard, that's why.
Hipster. So yeah, I'll probably go with flat white. If I had to choose one coffee for the end of my days, I'd go with a flat white.
Yeah, good choice. Very, very good choice.
Strong. So I'm going to come in here. Condiments on stuff on food. If you had to choose one for the rest of your life, gravy or icing?
Gravy or icing?
Yep.
Yorkshire boy at heart. I'm going to go with gravy.
Gravy. That's the right answer. Yeah, I think I can live without icing. Icing's very good. It's fun, but gravy is it's more versatile.
Yeah, you can have gravy with fish and chips. That's what we do up north. So
exactly, yeah.
You can have gravy with anything.
Strong. Yeah, icing or gravy. No, good. Dan.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to apply to you now, really, though, because I'm thinking now about your trainer. I don't think it's going to apply at all. But if you could get rid of one type of cardio machine in the world and it would never exist ever again, you never have to use it, what would it be?
Right now, the watt bike, because I hate it. I hate using it, but it's good. But I just hate it.
Yeah, I think mine would be the battle ropes.
The battle ropes?
Yeah. Can't stand that.
The watt bike is just ruthless. It just, as hard as you push, it just pushes back.
Yeah, that's what's good about it. I prefer not to go on something that makes you look fucking stupid, like that weird thing that you ski thing.
Being on a cross trainer, not a good look.
No,
but I'd go with the watt bike if I could take away one type of cardio machine from my life right now. It would be the watt bike.
Strong.
Okay, and taking away the kind of strongman bias as well. If you could only do one exercise with every single one of your clients, what would it be?
In terms of what I prefer?
Yeah, just in general terms of what you've seen maybe with your clients in terms of progress, in terms of
I'd probably go for the squat. We try and get all of our guys to squat where possible. That's kind of the primary movement that we want them all to learn. But obviously not everyone is capable of it. But if everyone came in with a clean bill of health and could squat, then that would be the one I'd choose.
Okay, next question. You can live and function perfectly without one macronutrient. Which one would you choose to get rid of?
Go. I'll go. It's just a tough one because I'd normally say carbs, but then we lose bacon. So I'd normally say fat, but then we'd lose bacon from the equation. I'll go with fat. I'll take away fat.
Oh, he's giving up bacon. Oh, he's gonna have to have those little bacon medallions that I have every single morning.
That little like be good to yourself bacon. That's the most pointless thing in the world. Oh,
and
yeah. I might as well eat unsmoked bacon at that point.
That is basically my diet at the moment. I'm on like 40 grams of fat a day. It's like
I've noticed you've been on egg whites like nobody's business.
Huh?
You've been on egg whites like nobody's business over the last.
I quite like them actually. People hate on egg white omelets, and I had one the other day. And again, this is total my naivety. I'd never really had them split up, but the egg yolks don't add as much flavour to eggs as you think they do. Egg whites still taste quite eggy.
Omelette, omelette, yeah, but you're not gonna have a poached egg white.
Well, no, but you can have a fried egg white. I have those.
Yeah,
they're quite nice.
Yeah, but it's still not going to be as good, Dan.
Yeah, but who the fuck would make a poached egg white? You'd be a retard to do that.
You.
Okay, now this is a little bit more personal, and I feel that I can ask the question because I'm also now a father. What is the favourite thing to do with your daughter in your spare time? What's the one thing you look forward to all week, if you have it weekly? Or
probably my Tuesday or Thursday mornings where we have like daddy-daughter day, and randomly colouring in. She loves colouring in, and I've realised how therapeutic it actually is.
Do you stay within the lines?
Yeah, always. She doesn't. We've had lots of discussions about this. She needs to improve. But yeah, actually, do you know when you like painting a wall and you just kind of switch off? Colouring in with her is exactly that. You just switch off, stop thinking about work or anything else. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Cool. And in her 2 short years, what has been the best moment of that time?
Probably when she first said "dada," but second to that would be when I got her to do 5 unassisted bodyweight squats.
That's the
that's yeah, rigorous squat training. But yeah, I'd probably say that the first time she said "dada," that would be the proudest moment.
Cool. Any more training questions, Tom?
Any more training questions? I don't know. What's your most favourite kind of rep range?
1.
It's
going to have to say.
Now, to be honest, I actually quite enjoy the higher rep ranges. I quite like the mental challenge. Like, there's a massive mental challenge when you're trying to pick up a 1 rep max off the floor. But like, say when I did that 300 kilo squat for 10,
yeah,
I got 4 or 5 in, and I was like, "What am I doing? This is a ridiculous idea." And then you get to 5 and 6, you think, "Now I'm done. I want to stop." And then you go, 1 more, 2 more, and then before you know it, you got to 10. And it's kind of like sadistic because you go into a little dark place where you see how hard you can push yourself. And I think going back from my rugby days when we used to push ourselves really hard with fitness and conditioning, it's kind of a hark back to that just to see. It's almost like a gut check, isn't it? See how hard you're willing to push, how hard you're willing to work. So I actually quite like the high rep stuff under heavy load. This is a good chance to see where you're at.
Yeah, that's cool. What turns you on?
I can attest to that. I think that's why with me doing this at the moment is it's that whole thing of going to that place that you just no one really wants to go there, but you've got to just check to see if you can do it.
Yeah, and after you've done it, you're strangely proud of yourself and want to do it again. It's like I was saying something the other day. It's like when you got a toothache, but you keep like pushing your tooth with your tongue, kind of thing, just because you know it hurts, but you still keep doing it. And it's kind of like that, isn't it? Like no one wants to go there, but when you're there, it's actually quite an enjoyable place to be for the few seconds after. But no, I enjoy that mental side of it as much as the physical side of it. And there's a lot of guys in the world now that can say deadlift 400 kilos, but there's not that many that can squat 300 for 10 plus reps. So I quite like that side of it because it's a place that not many people want to go with their training. So yeah, I'd say that probably 8 to 10 or 1.
Right, well, in terms when you've brushed your teeth, okay, as we do in the morning, what is the worst? Bear in mind there's a right answer to this. What's the worst food you can have after brushing your teeth?
Orange juice.
There we go. He knows it. Good. Yeah, it's
I can't remember the last time I had a glass of orange juice.
Wow, you suck.
No,
I tell you what's pretty bad after it is coffee as well.
I mean, coffee's not great. Orange juice, I can imagine like salmon sashimi being pretty bad. I reckon sushi would be pretty poor. I don't know. Bacon would be great, all right, because it just wash away the kind of taste anyway. So I'm gonna go like salmon or orange juice. Sucks, right? Yeah, that's poor. But yeah, okay. What turns you off?
In what sense?
In any sense, you're going to take that question, Clarky. Yeah.
Idiots. Morons. I have a no dickhead policy in my gym, and I've now spread that into my life because there's just so many idiots in the world that want to argue or kind of criticize or tell you how to do something differently. So the biggest thing that I just switch off from are negative people, moronic comments, and dickheads, basically.
This is good. I've got another personal question now. That you don't. Again, I actually want you to answer it now. Has anyone ever joined your gym and you've had to kick them out for that reason?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. There's a story there. Go.
No, they just weren't a good fit. They came in. They were quite brash and arrogant, and they weren't good people. They're fine in their own social context outside of the gym. I'm sure they were a lovely person, but they intimidated other people in the gym and they didn't feel particularly comfortable working alongside them. They were actively asking me when they're in so they can avoid booking in when that person was in. So I just made the call, spoke to them and just said, look, I don't think this is the place for you. By all means, disagree with me, but I think that you're looking for something different. And in the end, they agreed with me and said, no, you're completely right. I need something different. And then they moved on. But yeah, I think that group dynamic and having a place where everyone feels as comfortable as possible is important. So as soon as we let one dickhead in, then it spreads.
Yeah. Cool. Should we cap the questions there, Daniel? I think we're good. We got to know
so,
John.
mate. Yeah, we've found a lot out about John there.
I think where we should do now, as the guest has kindly come onto our little show, is John. You're free to plug anything that you're going to be doing, anything you want to do, anything that you feel like you need to talk about. Hopefully everybody's listening to this by now. They've maintained all the way through. So, yeah, anything you want to particularly talk about, mate?
In terms of plugging, I mean, there's nothing really to plug. I mean, we're about to launch a new seminar series, which we're excited about doing. So I do a lot of educational work with other personal trainers at the minute around breathing, bracing, tension, biomechanics with the squat and the deadlift, and how to teach them effectively. Part of our coaching team, we've got a professional rugby player, we've got a European powerlifting champion, we've got a strength and conditioning coach that works in professional rugby. So we're looking at launching a seminar series over the next few months that incorporates all of those things, aimed at personal trainers and coaches that want to get better. And I'm also working with Chet Majaria on a client success summit as well, where instead of bringing the usual academics to talk, we're bringing in people that are in the industry that are still on the gym floor working with people. And although they run successful businesses, they're still getting their hands dirty, they're still coaching, to talk about business, to talk about accounts, business development, how to be a better coach, how to manage teams of staff and all that kind of thing. So that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on our social media for that stuff. And that'll be, I guess, all I would plug right now.
Strong. Yeah, go follow your Fit 360 Puff, the bending barbell. It's your online training. Go follow John Clark on what are you active on? You're active on Facebook. I don't really know.
I'm mainly active on Fit 360 at the minute. I think the last time I posted on the bending barbell was March. Yeah. So obviously really active. Last time I posted anything on my personal coaching page was probably February. Fit 360 has taken up the majority of my life over the last 10 months. So we're now only just starting to shoehorn me out of the business to then work on our other projects again.
That's cool. I think me and Dan said that it was really noticeable when some of us get really busy and we stop posting shit online and we're really busy in our actual own lives. And it was like, yeah, you have to get in a really big habit of trying to post. And
it's consistency of message, isn't it? And the thing with my social media strategy with Fit 360, it's not so much just posting for the sake of it. We're just sharing successes of what our clients are doing. showing how much progress they're making, how well they're doing, how strong they're becoming, how much body fat they're losing. So for us, our social media game is really easy because we've got so many good things happening daily. It's just a case of putting it online. But yeah, I fell into that habit that once we opened, I was too busy day-to-day coaching, figuring out what VAT was, trying to understand what a limited company meant, all that kind of stuff, that Facebook was the last thing on my mind. But it's the biggest medium, in my opinion, for growing your own business. So yeah, no, it's an easy thing to forget about.
Cool. All right. Strong, shall we go into stupid things on the internet?
Ooh, that sounds like bollocks. Probably because it is. Stupid things on the internet this week.
Also, shout out to Rakesh, who I believe is doing some comedy shows. He's in Edinburgh or Glasgow or something like that.
Saw that, yeah. Looks like he's...
John doesn't probably know that. If you haven't listened to, we have a jingle done by one of our listeners, Rakesh, one of Dan's old clients, and he's a comedian now because he's I think it's mainly because he's unemployed. But no, he decided to. So yeah, right. So 8 myths about healthy eating. Thanks to Edward Whittaker. He's part of Team Box, isn't he? Athlete.
He is.
He is.
Yeah. He coaches him.
Wonderful. So hopefully lean.
I think he's pretty shredded. Yeah.
Pretty shredded. Cool. So we'll get Clarky's response to some of these myths. So I've got this in front of me. And I'll just say the 8 myths. Number 1. Myth: you shouldn't eat after 6 p.m. I think we'd all agree with that. Number 2, so a truth: it's not a good idea to eat a lot 3 to 4 hours before sleep. Bullshit? You calling bullshit?
So that's the myth was that you shouldn't eat after 6, and actually the truth is that you shouldn't eat 3 to 4 hours before going to bed.
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant. That's just
so I shouldn't eat at 5 p.m. then.
No.
The thing is, and I always come back to this. This is a great example I always use with my clients when they kind of say, "Oh, I've heard you shouldn't eat before you go to sleep." Now, from an evolutionary standpoint, and this is just observational shit, right? Observational. When you see Christmas Day, Christmas dinner has just been finished. Half an hour later, what happens? Every single person in the fucking room is asleep, pretty much, because your body almost has to stop and relax to digest the amount of food you've just fed it. Now, it's that whole thing of, for example, before I go to sleep, if I'm hungry, I will not sleep very well. I'll be like, fuck, this is horrible. But yeah, it seems that evolutionary animals, and again, we're humans, we can't extrapolate things to animals, but animals, after they've devoured their food, they usually sleep. That's pretty much usually what happens. And it's that whole thing of, you've just fed, therefore you don't need to eat, so therefore you recover and you sleep and you do that thing that comes naturally. Now, I always use the Christmas dinner example because it's so true, is that the amount of food you eat that day makes you feel very lethargic and tired. And it's just that whole, why would you not eat before going to bed? It makes total sense to eat before bed.
Always do. Number 2, brown bread is healthier than white. Myth. Truth: in calories, brown bread and white bread is exactly the same. We'll agree with that, right? It was just quite funny in the comment section though that everybody was slating fucking that one because they were like, no, brown bread is a lot better because it's not bleached and doesn't have sugar in it and it's got all these granaries in it and all the micronutrients that you can't see. A yawn. Yeah. Okay.
Next one.
You can drink as much freshly squeezed orange juice as you like. Is a myth.
Oh.
Obviously, you shouldn't drink more than 3 glasses a day. Is the truth, apparently.
How big glass?
I have no idea. It didn't specify. So pints, apparently. You can eat sushi when you're on a diet. Myth. The cheese, mayonnaise, and soy sauce in sushi contain a lot of calories. Is there a lot of cheese, mayonnaise, and what? Cheese and mayonnaise?
Depends on what sushi you eat, obviously. But yeah. I've eaten sushi and I'm on my diet and I'm doing absolutely fine.
He's alright. John's on his
sushi's an amazing diet.
Sushi, so yeah, it's great.
Chocolate
is
people
bad.
So confused, right?
Right, chocolate is bad for your figure. Myth. Truth: a piece of dark chocolate is good for you. Yeah, I think that's pretty well regimented. It's maybe good for heart health. That's fine. Myth: eating less makes you thinner. How's that a myth?
Oh, wow.
Okay. The truth: eating 5 to 6 times a day will make you thinner.
Oh, right, that's it. Yeah, John, that's why you're not eating 5-6 meals a day, isn't it? You don't want to lose weight. That's why you're in weight.
Damn it, you rumbled me.
Damn it. Yeah.
Right, John's living
Jesus
proof of that.
Christ.
Jeez. All right.
Not one mention of a calorie in any of this, is there really?
No,
There was.
that's two advantages. You should drink 1.5 to 2 litres of water a day. Yeah. You should drink as much as your body requires. I guess so, but that's very flaky. Again, this one's weird. Again, they've got something about they don't like brown things. I'm not going to say anything that they're racist, but food groups wise, brown sugar is healthier than white sugar. Myth. Brown and white sugar are equally bad for you. Why is that a myth that brown sugar is healthier than white sugar?
Probably because it's bleached or some shit, but equally they're not bad for you. But
they don't like sugar. Basically, is what I got from that, and it's done by I don't know the guy's name, but Brightside.
It sounds like it just sounds like the standard scaremongering.
It was just scaremongering, kind of sugar hating, calorie morons that generally pop up. Wonderful, cool, thank you.
I know that at Fit 360 they have don't they have a squat and cakes day? Is it not a day you have cakes, John?
Yeah, cake, shakes, and heavy weights day. So we have a cake baking competition, a shake, like build your own shake with a NutriBullet, and then we lift some heavy weights. So
sounds amazing. Yeah.
I want to see that video on social media, not this shit I just heard.
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
I remember when we went to
I don't follow these people. That's why I stay in my own little bubble.
We'd have no content if we didn't follow these people. So yeah.
I remember when I went to do the seminar at John's. Me and Steve both went, and I think some of the attendees were quite shocked when they pulled out someone had made some homemade cakes, and we were giving this talk on nutrition and how important it is to think about what you're doing and all this sort of stuff. And we all just went, yeah, have a cake, because we were basically saying you can have a cake, like it's absolutely fine. It's a very boring life you'd lead if you just ate chicken and broccoli all day every day.
The thing is, the mantra for here is we are the average of what we do. The average of what you eat, the average of how you train, the average of what you drink will give you your current state of your body. So if your average is cake, then you're probably going to look like shit. But if your average is fairly good interspersed with a bit of cake and the odd drink here and there, you're probably going to look quite good. So, and I think that's the thing. The fitness industry works in such extremes, and everyone's trying to sell the magic pill. No one wants to sell. Actually, if you just maintain a good average, you'll look pretty good.
Yeah. And that's the other thing as well about what you were saying, and that's kind of the reason I quite like the strength aspect of personal training, is that if you chase improving your strength numbers, and you just ate a decent diet in moderation, and you had a fairly, like you say, average intake of cake and alcohol, that kind of thing, and you understood you needed protein, carbs, and fats, you're going to look really, really good, because you're chasing performance, you're chasing that improvement week on week, month on month numbers, and if you're focusing on that, you're going to look, like you say, pretty decent and a lot better than most people. And that's the one thing I think it's really important people to emphasize, is that continued improvement and trying to be stronger will always see you right, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's why, ultimately that's why we treat everyone here like they're an athlete. They squat, they push, they pull, they do some element of conditioning alongside their strength work. They maintain a good average with their nutrition, and they all get results. We're not doing anything groundbreaking. We're not doing anything secretive. We're just lifting weights, doing 20 minutes of cardio of some sort based on their personal preference and adherence, and then eating well. Like, it's really not that difficult. But as you say, the accountability is massive. How you package it, how you educate is the bit that breaks it for a good result or a poor result. But that's the bit no one wants to try and sell, because you can't sell lean in 15 or actually just have a good average.
That's the greatest one. Just be average, mate. Wonderful.
Yeah. Stop chasing 15 minutes of success from 15 minutes of work.
All right. And there, guys. Thank you very much to Mr. John Clark for coming on. Hopefully, I'll be working with him far into the future, and hopefully Dan will start lifting some real weights. One day, maybe one day. Obviously, big hats off to everything he was doing. We'll try and get as much kind of, we'll get all his competitors on so they can come in on Slating, and then as he smokes there, good. Yeah, we're going to catch up with him probably in the near future, no doubt, and then we'll find out what's happening in the Fit 360 world and in John Clark's kind of attempt to become one of the strongest men in the world. To be honest, he already is for deadlift wise. So if you're about top whatever 30, 40 people who can deadlift, yeah. Fucking hell. Cool. So thanks for coming on, man.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Have a good
Cheers,
day,
John.
Dan.